Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Hey, welcome back to the Ages of Rock podcast. It's Bill and Dennis and the one, the only, Chris Czynszak. What's going on, man?
Too much, but happy to take a minute out and talk to you guys. It's been a little while since I've been on the show, so thanks for having me back.
So what do you do with Alan? Do you stick him in a closet somewhere or what? just
well,
lock him
yeah,
up,
Alan's
or...
been in the closet, so, you know, he's probably just, I don't even know. Not even going to go there.
No, Alan had a meeting he had to go to tonight.
He did.
Something it's work related.
He did.
That's what he says.
I think he was stealing books. That's what he was doing. He was stealing books, and they were meeting about it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
he's not
may
here,
or may
so.
not be working for the library,
and this may or may not get shown because he may just delete
cut it
all
out.
So who knows? Hey, I didn't mention it. This is episode number 339 for all you people keeping track, because apparently I can't. So there you go.
No, and I don't either. So
Chris probably doesn't know, but I have a little handy dandy notebook here
I know I could get my
that
start.
I use
forgetting.
Nice.
every week. So there you go. Hey, congratulations, Chris, to your Kansas City Chiefs.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're very excited about that.
Oh, very. And last night was a very late night for me.
Did you recover well from it today, or?
I'm hanging in there.
There you go. He's like, get this over with. Let's go.
Oh no, I got 2 weeks to recover for the next game. So yeah.
So was it a blowout? I didn't.
No.
I'm Mr. Sportsman, so I don't. I think they played the Bengals, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the Bengals did everything they could until the end. They went, you know what?
Fuck it.
Let's just let you guys go ahead and win. Go ahead. I'm like that. I felt I'm a Colts fan, which is a struggle on its own, and I know, but especially the last couple of years. But I being this close to Cincinnati, the Bengals, whatever. But man, I felt so bad for that guy. He was sitting over on the sideline just crying. I mean, I felt so bad. I mean, I can't imagine that. But he knew. I mean, you can't, you don't go after somebody out of bounds. And so what? Dennis doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to ask you.
Patrick Mahomes running down the sideline and was running out of bounds.
Gotcha.
And one of the defenders from the Bengals tackled him out of bounds, and it was a 15-yard personal foul,
right?
Which put them well within field goal range.
Okay,
so and they won by 3.
He probably felt bad. Yeah, he was probably all hyped up, and he just seen the guy and said,
it was adrenaline, but was it like 0.3 seconds left on the clock or something like that? 3/10 of a second left or something. I mean, it was.
He won't forget that for
3
a
seconds.
while.
Yeah. No, you won't. And nobody will have to. And you don't.
If he does, somebody will remind him.
No, you will never have to say. No, you'll never have to say a word to him about it ever.
No, it was even worse in the post-game press conference for him. The guy was just all welling up, and I mean, I'm happy my team won, but I felt bad. I really did feel bad for the kid.
Yeah. I mean, I did, like I said, I was fine with either team really, but it was just. My God, it's like you go all that way, and you on the very last potential play of the game, you just give it to him. I mean,
Yeah.
Were you on a sports podcast or what? Because
we are tonight. You know what? We have Chris on. Chris is a sports guy. He likes the Chiefs. We're gonna show him some love.
I'll talk Chiefs with you for hours.
There we go. And I can't. So there you go.
I can't at all because I barely know what football is.
Yeah, you do. We were talking about football, not football, which is different. That's completely different. Not the same sport, whatever. Yeah. But Chris is on tonight to talk to us about the upcoming ROCKNPOD 2023 that is in March.
Yes, sir.
It's right around the corner, man. It's not far.
You don't have to tell me that.
Which we've been a part of since day one.
That's right. Yeah, you guys have seen it from ground zero, from where we started to where we are now, and it's
you went from 0 to 100. Now you're cooking.
Yeah, I'm convinced I'm a masochist, but everybody seems to have a good time every year. But yeah, we're into the phase where things really crank up as far as the the last minute planning. The guest list is pretty much wrapped up. We'll have a few more guests to announce. The Platinum Podcaster registration is sold out. The 2 higher VIPs are sold out, but there's still some of the lowest VIP and also plenty of general admission and early admission tickets for the expo. And then we have a cool rare hair show going on Friday night on St. Patrick's Day at a cool place called East Side Bowl.
And I did not realize it was St. Patrick's Day.
That's gonna be really bad.
I
might have to go. I might have to go now.
Just change the game. Nobody's coming on Saturday, buddy.
They'll come hammered. On Saturday. But yeah, that'll be fun. My friend Tyson Leslie's going to run that, and we have several of the expo guests that are going to jump up on stage and do some songs, like Eric Martin and Jason McMaster and Stevie Rochelle, and I think Monty Colvin from Galactic Cowboys is going to play, and several others. It's going to be just an awesome night of music. And then Saturday, of course, the ROCKNPOD Expo during the day at the Nashville Fairgrounds. It's the first time we've been there. It's one of their newest buildings, and we're excited to expand into that building. And then, of course, panels, live podcasts on stage, discussions, meet and greets, signings, vinyl memorabilia, toys, comics, pop culture, vendors of all types. It's definitely the most vendors we've ever had at one of these things. Cool. So that's going to be big. And then Keel Fest 2 taking place at Bowie's on Saturday night with Ron Keel Band, Keel, Steeler, and Crashing Wayward in the Fifth making their Nashville debut. That'll be a fun show. And then Sunday we've got a movie screening at Full Moon Cineplex of Kiss Exposed with Courtney Cronin Dole, Don Jameson, and Craig Gass doing kind of MST3K style commentary. We did that last year with Kiss Meets the Phantom, and everyone loved that. Mm-hmm. And then we close out the weekend at a place called the Vinyl Lounge. It's like a building that they manufacture vinyl records for bands, but they also have an event space in there. So we're going to do a Punchlines and Backlines comedy show with the comedians, and Eric Martin is going to get up and do comedy for the first time. So that should be interesting. And then after that, Eric Martin and his band is going to do a full acoustic set. And that'll be a good way to cap off ROCKNPOD weekend.
Yeah, I like how that event works. If you because a lot of times you go to those things, you get there on Saturday, and then the Saturdays, you do the whole thing on Saturday, and then it's just over. But this has been one of those kind of things that I think has been really well planned out, that you got a little pre-party thing at the beginning, on Friday night to kind of get you going. It makes you feel bad on Saturday morning till about noon. You start feeling a little better
till the Bloody Marys kick in.
Just saying, and then might be even worse this year. And then then you got something going on Saturday night, and then even something on Sunday. So I think that you do a great job of putting together 2.5 days of a lot of unique experiences, a lot of fun, and I think for us as podcasters, I mean, since the very first one, for me, it's just been this kind of camaraderie that I don't think anybody expected to have happen, but because you didn't really know, you always kind of felt like, I remember going into that first day, and I always kind of thought we were kind of competing in a way. I was trying to figure out how that worked, because we were really pretty new, at the time. But what we ended up finding out was, no, we're all in this together, and we just kind of help each other out. And I remember asking Matt Porter for roll of duct tape, and he's looked at me. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. I'm just like, and it's Matt Porter. Matt's like the nicest guy on the planet.
And then I like how much it's grown, but also I like the guys like you and Matt Porter that have been there since day one. So it's like, and that first year, me included, none of us knew what to expect from it. It was totally an experiment, and the big thing that came out of it, like you said, was the camaraderie. A lot of friendships got formed that weekend, and it's, at the time it was just the 1 day thing, and it was cool for what it was. But yeah, every year we get new shows showing up, and it feels like our family just gets bigger every year, and it's just, I think it serves a good purpose for the community of podcasters, because we're always stronger together, and it helps for people to get exposed to other shows, see what they do, also pick up some stuff. We have like the education track we're putting together this year is really cool with some, tips and tricks on how to build your brand, your audience and everything. Even if you haven't done a podcast, you want to start one, we'll have people there helping with that. So I think there's great value, not only to fans, but also to podcasters and content creators of all kinds. Cause actually a lot of shows are taking off on YouTube these days too.
Yeah. That's one thing Bill, discussed or talked about earlier, was the fact of, was it a competition and stuff? And like I said, once we got there, and, how many times have we been on each other's shows, and there's been, we need something, we need somebody to fill in, we help each other out. There's no competing whatsoever. And we mentioned other shows, or if they got, if they did something great or did, had a great guest, we'll say, hey, man, you need to check out this, check out that. And that's one thing I like about it. There is no ego. There is no that kind of stuff going on. It's a family.
Yeah. I don't know if there aren't any egos.
Well, there's some ego.
There might be an ego.
Only thing is, you just don't have a competition on seeing really one of those the voting things that doesn't work good.
Yeah, don't do a voting thing. Don't ever do a voting thing.
We've done that.
I didn't. That wasn't my idea.
I know you had nothing to do with that, but that
I was consulted and asked if another one should be done, and I quickly said, "No, we should not do that again." Yeah. It was not good for anybody.
And it's amazing how something that simple turned into a shit show in about 90 seconds.
Yeah. I figured that was what was going to happen.
It was fast. I don't think that was the intent, but it just
it was meant to kind of help everybody bring each other together, but no, it didn't really work out.
There was more backlining going, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't mean this. I didn't wanted to get it. But you know what though? There again, it made everybody closer too, because I think if there was anybody that did get hurt, their feelings hurt a little bit, stomped on after the fact, it was all cleaned up at the end, and we were stronger afterwards.
Yeah.
Do we do it again? No.
No, we shouldn't. But I think most of the mess got cleaned up between everybody by the time it was over.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah, my show didn't win either. So,
so the cool thing is going to this new venue. I've actually been to that because my wife and I go to the big not the flea market, but the antique show that's there every year. And we drove up this last year planning to go up on the hill, where they have the stuff, and everything is gone. They're putting in is it a soccer field or something up there?
Yeah, they have a full soccer stadium there now.
Right. So we, of course, the guy directed, I said, no, we got brand new buildings down here. So we went in there, and those buildings are huge. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this because, I mean, this is considering where we started out, or where, you began this at in that little strip mall.
Yeah.
This is going to be spectacular.
Thanks, man. We were just trying to put the final numbers together, and I think we're at right around 40 podcasts that will be there with their own, space.
Wow.
We're at 50. We're right at 50 guests that'll be joining us, many of which will have their own space. And I think we're in the neighborhood of 50 to 60 different vendors that are going to be there also. And it's going to be awesome. And my show's network, Pantheon, has signed on as title sponsor, so we're excited to have them involved. And they're going to have kind of their own section of the room and everything, and what they do for music podcasting. And I'm biased because I'm on the network, but it means a lot. We're all kind of cut from the same cloth as far as what I do with ROCKNPOD and what they do with the network and building relationships and stuff like that. We also have another sponsor I'm going to be announcing soon, Third Power Amplification, which is a great local amp company, and they're going to be involved. And I've got Lightning 100, a FM radio station here that's coming on board as like a promotional partner. We're going to be doing some stuff with them on the radio.
Cool.
So it's just it's grown by leaps and bounds, and but it takes I have a great team of people. Tracy McAndrew at the top. Just kills it every year, and is knee deep in interview requests now. So she's got her work cut out for her. But and also Alan Tate, who can't be here, he also helps out with the event every year too, and several other people. Andy Connors. I just have to shout out a few people because they do a lot. Victor Ruiz on the back end with the website and helping me with marketing, and then of course, with Ron Keel and Keel Fest going on, RFK Media is, also a sponsor this year. So,
Right.
and I love what they've built with their brand and everything, with the label and the radio station and everything. So yeah, it's wild to see how it's grown. But yeah, we come a long way from a dirt mall in Music Valley, huh?
Yeah, and don't forget Mrs. Czynszak, who has to pick up all the pieces while you're the last couple of months while you've been knee deep in this stuff. So she's awesome too.
I'm just always amazed, with Tracy and them, and as far as even for for the podcast, getting those guys around, and I mean, and it has to work both ways. Even the podcasters, we know we have, was it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, in between, for an interview. So we try to do our best to do it. But I mean, you guys, it works like a clock. I mean, it's pretty damn close. I mean, things go around. And I mean, they do a really good job. And like I said, the behind the scenes on that, just getting the logistics of getting people around and having you've got those people, basically being their runners, helping them get around to these places.
Yeah, we have a great team.
Well,
and
it works very well.
Yeah, Tracy let me know that last year she scheduled over 200 interviews last year. And
wow,
it's going to be more than that this time.
Yeah, she does a great job. And very, even on the day, that's the day where everybody's stressed out and stuff like that. She's pretty cool, at least on the outside. On the inside, she's told me that she's freaking out, but
she has a great poker. She has a better poker face than I do. I just look panicked because I am.
Here's a sit there sweating, going, "Hey."
Well, a lot of it is them. A lot of it is them, carrying the ball. I'm just kind of looking around, making sure everything's okay. But a lot of the real grunt work is done by the team, and we have a huge volunteer staff that just does an amazing job. Yeah, it runs like clockwork, not because of me, but because of all these other great people.
All right. Yeah. Like I said, I don't see all the behind the scenes stuff, but I always, whenever we're there and we see you, it's like, oh, dude, you're doing a great job. Just relax, take a breath, because everything does work.
I try to enjoy it a little bit more every year. I actually did get to mingle a good bit last time, so I'm hoping for more of that this year. We're on a good track, but yeah, it's a true team effort. But the thing that makes us happy is just seeing all you guys having a good time, getting some good content for your show, and meeting each other, networking, and then all the rock fans that just come to get their record signed, even take selfies with the artists, and then the artists get to promote their stuff on a bunch of shows, and they get to meet the fans. It's sort of a win-win for everyone involved.
Yeah, that's the cool part.
We've met a lot of really cool people from there, and even people that weren't even guests of yours, that were coming and meet these people, and we've had them, as guests later on in our show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's endless content and just endless. Just as far as the networking for us is amazing, because we're up in Indiana. I mean, Nashville's a great place, and you get to see a lot. But you're putting a lot of talent and a lot of people in one spot, and that helps us out, because we don't there's not that many people walking around Evansville or Newburgh or Columbus, Indiana.
Yeah. So I shouldn't do ROCKNPOD Evansville one of these days.
No.
Sure.
You can, but it's gonna be nobody wants to travel to Evansville.
I'd be booking a lot of flights for gas.
Yeah, and an airport that nobody goes to.
So keep Chris, just keep it in Nashville, please.
Okay.
We like to come there.
we do have hopes of doing a Vegas one in the future.
Yeah. Well, that'd be fun.
That'd be all right. And I think you definitely get a different group of artists out there for sure. Because there's a lot of people that live there, and it's like Nashville. I mean, when we started this, I had no idea how many people, how many 80s rock guys and stuff like that live in Nashville. I had no clue, and how much rock there really is going on in Nashville. I mean, it's been, I'm glad I don't live there. I almost moved there like years ago, and I'm glad I didn't, because I'd probably be divorced, and I'd be in a bar every night listening to music somewhere. So it'd be bad, but I like coming down there, and I was like, well, I'm going to go down to Broadway. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to the Exit.
Right.
But now you can go to Bowie's, so you can sneak down to Bowie's for a little bit and hide away.
If you want to come to the Keel Fest show, Bowie's is literally right in the heart of everything. So if you want a taste of the insanity of Broadway, Bowie's is right down the street from it.
Yeah. And it's a really cool club.
Bill's actually been there, and that's why I haven't been there yet, but I know. I mean, I like the insanity of going downtown. It's fun for me. But I'm being that I played in bands and played in bars, that doesn't bother me. We've had some people. We actually took a friend of ours. I took my wife and her shopping over at Green Hills and stuff, and I said, before we leave, we're going to drive Broadway. And she's like, what's that down there? And I'm like, and she, of course, the first time she saw one of those buses with all the, the bridesmaids in it,
The Woo
and all
Girls.
this and the other, she's like, I can't believe you guys come down here. And it's like, yeah, we've been here quite a few times.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I was going to high school, Broadway was just seedy with, like peep shows and hardware stores. And then it was Second Avenue South was the only strip that was cool to cruise on. So we'd come down in high school, you just cruise Second Avenue over and over again because that was where all the tourists were.
Because originally I knew whenever people talked about Nashville, it was always going to Printer's Alley.
Yeah.
Printer's Alley was the place to go.
Yeah.
And then we went down, my friend and I went down to Nashville back in, it would have been probably 96. And that's when they had the Planet Hollywood, the NASCAR Cafe, which, all those places. There was a place called the Bat Bar. I don't know if you ever
I
remember
used
that
to go to
place.
the Bat Bar.
Oh my gosh, that place. There was some guy coming there that night and just, play guitar. It was just amazing. Yeah. But all those things, it went through a cycle, I guess, at that point, because all those places, except for the Hard Rock, closed. The Planet, the NASCAR, all those places closed. And but it wasn't near the crowd that's down there now. Now it's just like ridiculous.
I was a spectator at the Planet Hollywood grand opening, and they had Schwarzenegger and Stallone at the opening. I still remember seeing them in person. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
The food was terrible, though. It was terrible.
The food there was not very good.
There was another place we went to called what was it? The Have a Happy Day Cafe.
Have a Nice Day Cafe.
Have a nice
day.
And
they had those they had those mural. They had the Everclear, like all kinds of different flavors of Everclear, and these like these revolving liquid things.
Yeah, I used to go there. I worked on 8th Avenue at the time for a book publishing company, and that was where we would go on Friday for drinks after work.
Yeah, she gave us quite a few free Everclear drinks, and it was.
I've stumbled out of Have a Nice Day Cafe several times.
It got me I was a little fuzzy after that, but anyway.
Right.
But no, we're looking forward to. Yeah. Go ahead, Bill.
No, I was going to say. So we host hotel this year is the Hollywood Holiday Inn.
There you go.
I'll have another sip. Is the Holiday Inn there at Vanderbilt? Is that right?
Yes, sir. It's like if you're familiar with the Parthenon, it's right across the street from the Parthenon next to Vanderbilt University.
Okay. Not too far away from Hattie B's.
Yeah, real close to Hattie B's.
Close to Hattie B's.
And it's like literally a 5-minute drive to the fairgrounds. It's really close.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah. The fairgrounds, when you get there, you'll be like, this doesn't feel like downtown, but it's literally just a few blocks from all of it. It's just right on the outskirt.
Right. So are the fairgrounds on like the backside of the Parthenon? Is it on that, or is it up? Is it up west end?
It's on the it's the south end of the city, basically, and it's
it's down, like right on the south loop around 440.
It's so funny because I come in off 65, and I forget that's, even though it's coming north and south, it's pretty much on the far east side of town. It's on the east side of town, and I get all jacked up.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we're not far from 65, like from where Berry Hill and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that stuff is. It's basically between Berry Hill and downtown is where the fairground sits.
Yeah, because we've been going to the fairgrounds for, like I said, I went with my wife and I, and used to take my parents, but those antique shows, we've been going to those for years down there.
Mm.
And there was a racetrack. Is the racetrack still there, or is it gone?
Yeah, no, it's still there. They had a major effort to save it. It almost got removed. And,
really? Okay.
Yeah, but which is part of why they have new buildings there now, because where the racetrack is now, is where they were going to put the soccer stadium.
Oh, okay.
But the city put up such a fight, or the residents put up such a fight about it.
Right.
That's why they tore down the old buildings and put the soccer park.
The buildings were up on the top of the hill there, and then because we got up there and going, what the fuck? This isn't the same place we parked before.
No, the new buildings are great.
The buildings are nice.
They're updated, nice. With great Wi-Fi. There's plugs in the floor. There's all kinds of good features about it.
Great.
They did it right. That's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, it's hard work. But every year, my wife likens it to being pregnant. Just like, you're hurting, you're exhausted. You say you're never gonna do this again, and then you see the result, and you're like, all right, I'll do it again. So I'm at the point where I say I'll never do it again, but I'll always end up turning right around and doing it again anyway.
Because we're at what now?
I remember.
Which one is this? Is this 5?
It was going to be 6, but thanks to COVID, it's the 5th.
Right. This is the 5th one. I was going to say I thought it was 5th. Yeah.
And I took 2022 off. It was my daughter's senior year in high school, so I just wanted to, kind of prioritize family for a year, take a break, and but then when I was like, well, let's do it in 2023, I didn't want to make everybody wait all the way till August. And there's always several people that are like, I can't make the August event, but if you did it, in another time of the year, I would come. So this is a bit of an experiment doing it in March. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, probably another crop of people that have never got to see it before.
I think it'll actually work out pretty good because I think August too, like you said, a lot of people with their kids going back to school and everything else. That's about the time all class reunions, all that crap. That's why I actually missed my class reunion because of it was at the same night that we were at the class or at the thing, and then it ended up that's the night we ended it early. Remember, we started playing, and then we couldn't play we were doing the band thing.
Oh, the Nashville Palace year.
Yes, yeah, that was
that guy was a prick.
Yeah. So, are you going to have any kind of? Are we going to do some? Are they going to be doing some live music at the fairgrounds?
Can't do it there. I mean, you could, but it's such a cavernous building. The sound would be just horrible. So maybe some light music through the PA. But
I didn't know if there would be like any kind of acoustic things, like kind of like you did at the other place
for last year. Yeah, we did consider it, but then just talking with my team and everybody was just like, it's just not going to work with the noise. But we have so much live music surrounding the event that you'll be able to get your music fill,
get your fix.
Yeah, it's a big building. I was thinking about that too. When you said you were going to be there, I was like, I've been there. That's some tall ceilings.
Yeah, I mean, the sound's going to be a challenge even without music. But with music, we'll forget about it.
So, Chris, what kind of guests are you talking about this year?
Yeah.
Oh man, well, like I said, we hit 50 as of today. I've got a few more to announce, but I mean, the big ones. Obviously, Eric Martin from Mr. Big, which is timely because Mr. Big's going to go back out on a reunion tour in the summer, so it'll be a good time for him to promote that. Stevie Rochelle from Metal Sludge and Tough, Jason McMaster from Dangerous Toys, Eddie Ojeda from Twisted Sister, who is a local resident here, which is cool. He lives near the town I grew up in. Of course, Ron Keel and everyone involved with Keel Fest that I mentioned earlier. Comedians Craig Gass, Don Jameson, Courtney Cronin-Dole. Happy to have them back. Photographer Mark Weiss, who shot pretty much every major album cover, it seems, of the 80s. Rick Fox, who not only going to be doing the Keel Fest thing with the Steeler lineup, but Rick's got an amazing history going all the way back with Wasp and was around Kiss in the very early days. That guy can tell you some stories.
Mm-hmm.
Some other guests, Matt Dice from All That Remains and CKY. We try to move things a little bit more into the 90s with some of the guests too. We can't just stick totally with the 80s. Hollywood Gene Basone, who was part of Glow Wrestling. You remember the show Glow from back in the day. Mick Strawn, who is an interesting guest because Mark, we have there's a pop culture and comic convention going on Sunday in the same room. So Mark Ballard, who kind of partnered up with me to do where we could make it a whole weekend thing, he brought him along. And do you remember like the Doc and Dream Warriors video from back in the day?
Yep.
Mick was the guy that like designed the whole set that's built on, and he worked on pretty much most of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I believe.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Monty Colvin, Galactic Cowboys, some local talent, Leilani Kilgore, who's an amazing guitarist and singer. She's going to play at Rare Hair, and she's going to kick your ass. She's an amazing guitar player. Anthony Fox, there's an interesting tie-in with Anthony Fox because Anthony mostly made his bones being a producer and engineer, but also you would know him from, he was the drummer in the Alice Cooper Poison video back in the 80s. Everybody thinks it's Eric Singer, but it's not. It's actually Anthony Fox. And also Anthony and Rick Fox and Mark Ferrari, who's going to be there, were all in the Wayne's World movies. So
how cool.
And
Wow.
Anthony and Mark were in Tia Carrere's band in the movie, the fictional band that she plays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yep.
How cool.
Yeah. So I'm sure some people are going to bring their Wayne's World stuff to get signed.
We're not worthy. We're not
Yeah. One of these days we'll get Alice, I hope.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Warner Hodges, who's kind of a local legend here, was in a band called Jason and the Nashville Scorchers that kind of started the whole cowpunk scene back in the day. I'm excited personally to get him because I grew up on that music. Samantha Newark. Do you remember the cartoon from the 80s, Gem and the Holograms, about the rock singers?
Yep.
She's the voice of Gem from Gem and the Holograms.
Oh,
She's
wow.
gonna be there. And Roxy Blue's coming back. The whole band's going to come and hang out.
How cool.
Drew Fortier, who plays with Ellefson in the Lucid, and Anthony Corder, of course. It wouldn't be Rockin' Pod without Anthony Corder from Towards Aura.
I wasn't coming. If Anthony's not coming, I ain't going.
Yeah.
I can
Bill's
sit down
buddy.
and talk to that dude for, and he can
Bill,
talk about every. He is.
He's been on here. He's been on our show. I don't know how many times. And Bill, I mean, they'll sit around and
we just sit around and shoot the shit, man.
Just shoot the shit.
Like,
he is a sweetheart. I mean, he is one of those guys. He's a genuine, super nice guy.
Yeah.
And talented as fuck, you know.
Love talking music with that guy. Jeremy Asbrock from, of course, Ace Frehley's band going to be coming.
Who's that? No.
Never heard of him.
Love that guy too.
The new lead singer for Great White, Brett Carlisle, is going to be a guest. So excited to have him there. Martin Motnick from Accept, Sandy Gennaro from the Monkees, and Joan Jett and Bo Diddley.
Sandy is another one of those people. I love to interview him. That last interview I got with him was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was more, it wasn't, he was giving me, he was talking about his going to talk these positive talks. It wasn't about music. It's just about his.
Now he's a motivational speaker.
A motivational speaker. And I was like, and it was just, he was telling the story about his wife and all that stuff. I'm like going, dude, that's just fantastic. I mean, and he's just another one of those genuine, super nice guys.
Yeah. And then, I don't know if you guys know this, but this year is the 60th anniversary of the song Wipeout by the Surfaris.
Right.
So Bob Berryhill, the guitarist from the Surfaris, is going to be a guest this year. Delana Nova Scott, who is a guitarist for the band Vane. She's also the owner of Third Power Amplification, which is one of our new sponsors.
Oh, right.
Paul Taylor from Wingers coming back this year. He's available.
Great guy.
Steve Blaze from Lillian Axe. We just announced him not long ago. I'm excited to have him. John Billings from the Monkees. Andre LaBelle, who played with some guy that used to wear an ankh on his face. And Brian J.
That's okay. We don't mention that name either.
We don't mention names. Yeah.
Brian J. from Keel, and then the fifth. But yeah, we've got a few other tricks up our sleeve, and I guess that we'll be announcing soon. But yeah, it's it's
going to be great.
It's an awesome lineup we have this year.
And every year, like I said, you get some returning guests, but then you've got some really great new ones coming in, and the returning guys. Like I said, Sandy, I could talk to Sandy every time he comes in.
Yeah.
And Jeremy, he's been on here I don't know how many times, and all those guys. I tell you what, we are blessed to be able to know a lot of those people.
Yeah,
because they are the nicest people in the world.
Well, and another thing with Rockin' Pod being in Nashville, you never know who's just going to pop in and hang out. Like the first year, Mark Slaughter just showed up out of the blue and hung out for a while.
And a super nice guy.
Wow, he hung out forever. Yeah. I mean, the dude was sitting there. We were all sweaty. I remember my picture taken with him. Both of us are sitting there. We're both sweating. I mean, we're the pit sweat, everything. We're like, hey, how you doing? And it was like,
yeah.
No, he was a super nice guy. I mean, super.
You never know who's gonna pop in. And that happens every year.
Yeah, well, it's Nashville. What do you expect?
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
No.
Keep you on your toes.
That's for sure.
Makes it worth coming, for sure. So we got to figure out how to get Gene down there sometimes to promote the vodka so he can do a signing. I mean, that'd be pretty
cool. I'd love to have him, believe me.
I want Gene to promote his weed and his vodka. But you don't know any of it. You don't know what any of it tastes like.
Yeah.
It's wine. And
as long as people are buying it, he don't care.
When I look for vodka, I always look to the person who's never had a drop of it in their life to tell me what's good and what isn't.
What's
he can sell, which, but you know what? He would be really good at selling cake. Cookies.
Yes,
he's an expert in those.
He is an expert, man. He is on.
And I know this has nothing to do with Rockin' Pod, but it has something to do with the branding. Have you seen the Rush thing this recently? It just came out like yesterday. There was Rush sells a beer, and now they're selling a mustard, and it's Getty and Alex sitting there, and they're talking about this mustard, and it's the funniest fucking commercial I've
haven't
ever seen
that. I have to look it up.
I'll send it to you here when we're off the thing, because it's fucking.
Is it called Rustard?
No, it's just like a rust. And he goes, it's made, and Alex goes, it's made with love, and he goes, that doesn't sound right.
Well, with the Gene Simmons vodka though, I do want one of those money bag glass bottles, because
that's what I'm getting at. I just want the damn
and
bottle.
the thing is, there's going to be people who don't drink vodka are going to buy it just for that fact.
Well, it looks cool.
Yeah, it's a cool looking it's a cool looking bottle.
You know, and dumb shit me, I'm not going to give Gene no more money. And guess what?
You're such a liar.
You say that. I pre-ordered that fucking album.
Which one? The soundboard?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you bought tickets to that 2-day thing he's doing.
No. I bought the vault. Well, you know, you and I were at the vault down there at that time. Yeah.
That was quite a day, wasn't it?
Yeah, I won't do that again.
Yeah, but it's quite an experience, though. I mean, you're buying an experience. I mean,
it was an experience.
You know what you're getting.
Right.
Everybody that buys that stuff knows. Unlike other things that we spend money on and it never arrives.
And we just talked about that here about 5 minutes ago, and I know that they won't be promoting anything at the ROCKNPOD.
Who's that? Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
We don't even go there. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Anyway, but no. Even though, like I said, it was $2,000. Like I said, I can't say nothing bad about the Gene Simmons Vault experience. It was everything it was supposed to be and more. And it was like, you know, you were there, Chris, and like I said, there was Mike Williams was up there. It was just there was a bunch of people that I knew.
Yeah.
And then of course, you know, Jeremy and Ryan and all those guys came in, and it was just it was a fun day. And I met Gene. I cried a little bit. It was fun.
I told Gene where the men's room was. That was my interaction with Gene. I was just there. I was hanging out there as a media person because my friend at the radio station got me in for free. And he walks around the corner. He's like, "Where's the men's room?" I'm like, right there, Gene.
It's right there.
Yeah, I thought you went to the ladies' room.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
That's what you should have said. That'd have been funny. Just to see his face. He'd probably look at you and go, "Ha ha."
It's probably like I had about 15 things I wanted to say when I was talking to him, and I forgot all of them. Didn't get my soundbite. Didn't get anything. I just walked out.
I'm sure he still told you you're a powerful and attractive man.
That's what my vault says. Actually, I had him write that on there. I said it says from one powerful, attractive man to another. Because I was thinking about how to say.
Notice he put himself first. Just saying.
Right. What was your secret gift that was inside?
Actually, I got one of a child-sized one of those Mylar windbreaker coats.
Oh, cool. From the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one.
Of course, you know, dumb fuck me. I opened it up, you know, because you couldn't tell what it was. It was just like this. It was a sealed, you know, because it was kind of vacuum sealed. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I pulled out. I was like, oh my God, it's one of those things. And then there was like a couple of cards, and there was a laminate, and that wasn't nothing spectacular except for that. And I'm sure I could get probably something out of that.
Oh yeah, you could sell that.
But everything's still sealed. Nothing's. My light quit working, so I guess the battery's dead in there. When it opens up. But
did you know what he wrote on the top of Ryan Cook's box?
Yeah, what was I can't remember. It was something like, was it
just said "blow me"? And
yeah, blow me. That's right. Yeah, because all those guys got their vaults on that day, even though they had played with him for and did all that. He gave them all that day when they were in Nashville. Yeah. Blow me.
God.
To Ryan, blow me, Gene said.
Yeah, blow me. The doll's still in the plastic, the coin's still in the plastic. But for me, and we've talked about this on the show before, but I've never been a collector of the outtakes and all that stuff like that. So the people that have had all the bootlegs have heard all the Gene Simmons stuff that's on that thing.
New to you then,
and everything was new to me. So actually, getting that disc set and the booklet with it was really nice. Cool. It is a nice booklet. So for me, getting to hear all that music finally was worth the money for me. Plus, got to meet him. Wasn't the first time I met him, but it was more personal.
And then saw the strangest acoustic performance of all time.
Yeah, we won't speak his name, but yeah, that was a weird situation.
It was definitely unforgettable.
And then of course Gene's he's just berating that sound guy. I mean, just constantly. It's like
good old Gene.
It was bad. Same shit, same chick. But anyway, no, it was a good experience. And like I said, it's like every experience we have in Nashville, including the ROCKNPOD. It's all good experiences, all fun, and can't wait for this one. It's going to be great.
Well, I'm glad you guys are coming back, and I love seeing all the people that come every year. And
you have to lock the damn door to get it.
Well,
let us in.
appreciate the belief in the event and everything, and you guys always are supportive and great friends, and I thank you very much.
Oh, sure, like it's been a blast for sure.
Our pleasure, actually. But no, I'm looking forward to getting some more swag.
More swag.
Yeah, I got a bunch of that shit here. I love that stuff. What was you gonna say?
So, Chris, you want to talk about where people can get information about it and all that kind of good stuff?
Yeah, ROCKNPOD.com, ROCK the letter NPOD.com. That's got everything for you. The site's pretty well up to date now. We're adding a few things. We're gonna streamline it a little bit, but yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you're a podcaster, you missed and wanted a table and interviews, you're out of luck on that. But there are lower tiered podcast packages you can order and still join us, or you can just get a general admission pass and just hang out, and then do a la carte on the concerts and stuff if you want. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff to do. It's a full weekend, and ROCKNPOD.com has pretty much got you covered on everything you need to know about it.
What's a general admission ticket cost? If you just want a general admission,
$20.
$20 for $20.
$20. That's a
walk
trip
amongst
to
the giants for $20 freaking dollars.
Right.
And when I say giants, Dennis is like 6'4".
No, I'm 6'2", but
whatever.
I'm really fat. I'm really fat, though. I'm really fat.
All right, people. That's about it for us tonight. So
all right,
we'll take us out of here. So thanks a lot for being on the show tonight, Chris. Hang out. Don't leave yet. And we really appreciate you being here. And we can't wait for March to come. Spring break. Let's see. That's going to be St. Patrick's Day Friday night. Mayhem. That's that will be the theme.
we'll be crapping green on Saturday morning. There you go.
All right, guys. See y'all later.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.